Hey guys, so thank you for the acceptance on the break. We guys have woken up in the morning, had your rations, had your fill of some of the food up on the deck. You have laid eyes on some of the crew members, a small, like a thin, live human, which some of you will recognize, a elderly Khemri male with a very the mandrill type of nose going on, graying hair, and then a rather lanky but still muscular male bugbear that has like a greenish mossy tint to their fur. They seem to be going through their routines or rounds. Jones, there is no door right now. God damn it. And Yeah, you guys are up there. Davis has been below deck, and then as you guys notice, one of the bugbears goes down, and then Davis and the bugbear kind of emerge roughly around the same time. What would you guys like to do? It's late morning at this
I'm
point.
I'm I'm
Um,
focused on getting breakfast with the friends I do know, and then I'm gonna try and find a quiet place to read the book. I would probably start on deck, give that a shot because it's nice outside.
Okay.
If that's bad though, I'm going below deck.
All right. The nice thing is because y'all had the fish gut pot stew so late, you are still benefiting from food for thought. So I think for like the next few hours, y'all should still be getting advantage on all intelligence checks.
Just what I need.
Yeah, so it actually lines up fairly well for you guys.
I would be on deck, not comfortable talking to Julian to like ask him. So I'm just like standing where I can see him steering the ship, kind of like
Mhm.
looking at it wistfully, hoping that at some point to be like, "Hey, come steer the ship,"
Mm,
but not saying. And then I'll just be like feeding Pebble and
yeah, I get you. Let's see something. Yeah, Julian will most certainly at some point, you know, kind of notice you and like kind of looking because I kind of picture you kind of a little bit down on the stairs. Kind of looks down. He's like, "Rock, come on, come on."
Woo-hoo. I'm in.
And you see again as you take the wheel, the water before you. It is now a much wider waterway, uh, but it's not like any. It's not winding. It's not rapid. It's meandering, slow.
Yeah, I just like I just like the feel of the wheel in my hands, and you get to see everything in front of you, and it's
Mhm.
just yeah.
Yeah. And Pebble like sits on your shoulder and is enjoying and tweeting at your excitement. Uh, every once in a while, you hear like a little thump as you run into some floating driftwood or log, but no damage, obviously. Uh, and Julian will just kind of watch and do that. You don't strike me as the type of seafaring type or waterborne.
I've only ever been on your boat, uh,
Uh,
but this is fun for me.
the around your neck. Well, that's coral, right?
Yeah, I grew up just alongside, like in a little ocean village, and a nice old lady in the village gave this to me. So I've
Hmm.
been by water lots. I love the water. I've just never been on a boat.
Oh, wow, it's nice.
Thanks.
Hmm. And he'll just continue making small talk with you, and he'll every once in a while just kind of put his hand on the wheel, just kind of correct you just ever so slightly, just because he knows where the shallow spots and the dips and are. So, Davis, as you've come up.
What's everybody up to? I guess I'll be eating
Mhm.
something.
Yeah, just catching up on whatever rations and some of the fish and some of even the preserved fruit if need be.
It's like,
You
how's she holding up, Julian? Anything needs tending to?
you just see Julian kind of standing a little bit ways behind Rock, and he's like, "Ask the helmsman."
Which one's that? Is it that guy? And I'll point to, I guess,
Yeah,
whoever's at the front.
he kind of chuckles. He's like, "No, your friend." And Rock is literally at the wheel, just kind of.
Oh, how's it going, Rock?
Owls in the background. A little woo.
Davis, we're following the river. We're going to the swamp.
I'm very proud of you, dude.
Yeah, Davis, you realize that like he could essentially let go of the wheel and it'll most likely
Right.
find its way. But as
I
a
don't know that, so I'm like almost white knuckling it, thinking.
yeah, yeah,
Actually, really quick, like, and maybe I'm putting you on the spot for this, Adam, but
hmm?
is this a sailed ship? Does this have like a lot of like heavy
So yeah,
sails, or
it does not have heavy sails, but it does have
so like maybe one or two sets of
yeah,
sails?
it has like a main mast, and then it does have like a directional sail that you can
Right.
also unfold to
Okay.
help you catch the wind. It is very much a actually just out of curiosity, go ahead and roll me a I would say it's like a seafaring check for you. So let's do you still get advantage because it's intelligence.
Yeah.
Um, proficiency, intelligence at advantage
Okay.
for
So
you.
just do
DC is not
20
going to be
plus all that.
yeah, it's not going to be too high for you.
Still not that great though. Oh, an advantage. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause you're
So plus proficiency.
still
Yes.
two maybe for you.
Sorry.
Is it plus two total for you? I guess.
Plus 3 for proficiency, right?
Yeah, and then your intelligence is -1.
Oh, right, -1. Yeah. So yeah, 11 total. Because I rolled a
Oh,
3
so
and a
that's fine.
9. Man.
You literally just needed above 10. You recognize that this at one point was probably just like a regular river boat style, but Julian has, or you think Julian, but whoever it is, has done some work and some modifications to it. Just from the tales that you've heard talking with Julian in the previous time, you know, he clearly was a seafarer. And as you're looking over and seeing that the mast is definitely not originally from this ship, it looks like it's somehow
Yeah, like a
built
different wood or
in.
something.
It's like a different grain of wood, different color, but it is very well placed. And you notice that now that you're thinking about it, when they were coming against the current towards y'all, there were people rowing,
Oh, okay.
and there are actually slits on the bottom part of the ship where people can row. So it's very like
It's a
I would
hybrid.
say custom ride hybrid, yeah, kind of
Okay.
ship.
You're doing great there, Rock. Julian, anything else needs tending to?
Well, honestly, Davis, I have a crew with me this
Yeah,
time,
that's
so
weird. Sorry. Yeah, it's not used to that. Also, I feel like I should just be doing something.
that's fine. Honestly, it's not the glorious work, but boys got to scrub the ship.
You
I
know
don't know
what?
that
I've
your
asked a
stat.
lot of you too, so sure.
All right. Uh, go down to Zula. He'll
Which
he
one's that
points
one?
over to he points over to the older Kemri gentleman. So
Got it.
Zella, Zella. Sorry, I said his name wrong. Zella. Um, and he'll I'm sure he'll appreciate the extra set of hands.
No problem.
Grant, what are you up to?
Um, Probably just hanging out, looking over the side, not doing anything much at all,
Perfect. Are
honestly.
you in the front of the ship or the back of the ship or the side? I mean, it's kind
Probably on the side, staying out of the way.
of okay. Go ahead for the sake of it. I'm just curious. Roll me a perception check.
Sure.
Actually, real quick while he's doing that, there was like a little like dinghy or something strapped to the side that Amaro was sleeping in last time, right?
Yeah,
Was that still there when he pulled up? Like, could we see if it was there?
that was legitimately why I was making you the.
Okay.
So yeah, Grant, as you're kind of off to the side, out of the way, kind of just observing, and it's not much is going on out there. You every once in a while you'll ride by a log and maybe bump it, and then there's a couple turtles sitting on it, and they'll dive in the water, or you'll see, you know, a run of fish that it's heavy enough that their silver scales manage to come through the not exactly clear water. It's not brackish by all means, but and then you see some heron and some crane and all that. But then you just kind of look down, and then you see the dinghy, and for a moment there, you just imagine Amara, arms crossed, just kind of sitting there on her own, and then that little vision goes away.
Okay.
But yeah, it's peaceful. Like, it's strange to think how calm it is on this river, knowing the incredible amount of stuff that you have found out in the last couple of weeks. It's
Right.
eerie sense of detachment.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it's peaceful and calm out here, and it's like there's kind of nothing going on. Honestly, we're just chilling on the river, and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
we're
very
heading
much.
to
I
something
mean,
very dangerous.
yeah, it is honestly very much kind of representative of, well, I don't know, like it's just duality. It's strange, and you also kind of maybe a little smirk into yourself in that, like, that these guys that you're with, not your friends, but these crew members, probably aren't up to the most above par things all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but they're the help you get. So, but yeah, anything else, Mr. Lawbearer, sir?
No, not. I don't think so for today at least.
Gotcha. All right, Marb, anything in the first half of the day?
Quick question: do
Mhm.
the holy arrows need preparing? They needed to be filled with holy water, right?
Holy oil.
Holy oil.
Yes. Actually, if I remember right, yeah, many charges. Yeah, it's filled with holy oil.
Okay, so I want to spend a little bit of time filling up the 3 arrows I have and getting them like ready to be shot as soon as needed.
Okay.
Um,
All right. I don't believe I wrote how much it would take, so we'll go ahead and do
It says the
we'll
effect
do,
depends.
yeah, on how much he puts in.
Right.
I want to
So
fill them to. I thought I had holy oil.
the bag of holding might be carrying it, honestly.
I have them in
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
I
Yeah.
leave my
Then I'll go Rock first and ask him like, "Hey, Rock, can you fetch 3 flasks of holy oil, vials of holy oil?"
Yeah, it's interesting because they came in different, like, there's no symmetry or anything to the vessels, the little flasks and glass vials and that are used to hold them. Some of
Oh,
them are long and narrow, some of them are stout and round. It's just whatever vessel you
okay.
could do.
More of a mechanical question. How does
Mhm.
the bag of holding work? Like, if I put my hand in and think holy oil, will it like
Yep.
be attracted to my hand?
You literally, that's how it is. You just reach in, holy oil, because if you know what's in there, holy oil, one, holy oil, two. Like if you were to reach in there and think severed head of Simon, it's not in there, so you wouldn't pull it out.
But you
Yes, I'll
should check.
Or is it?
Or is it? It puts Rock's head out of the bag. Oh.
Yeah.
Uh, does it
Excalibur.
work without my hand being in? Like, if I open it and say holy oil, will like something
No,
like shoot up? Or
no.
do I have to physically reach in?
It requires manual extraction. Yeah.
You just have to think about the item, or do you have to say it out loud? I feel like holy oil, and then stick my
Yeah,
hand.
that's what I was thinking. Like, come
I
to
mean,
me, Excalibur!
that's up to you. But in all honesty, it's the nature of the magic. Because it is not a malicious bag by any means. You just need to think about it. And it reads your thoughts as you reach in and takes it.
But it's always
Okay.
fun to say the wrong thing and then pull it out. While
Yeah.
thinking of the one thing like,
Yeah.
give me rations. Oh, this is holy oil. What the fuck?
Rock just got.
Okay, then I just like open it and like reach in and say like, "Hey, Rock, I'm reaching into the bag of holding," and
Hmm.
just like grab, I guess 3 or 4 vials. I don't know how much we have.
All right. If you look at the bag of holding, you should have access to it. One vial has 6 charges.
Yeah, and I have 7 vials.
And then I'll let you get familiar with the arrow because essentially for each charge you put in it, you're not increasing the power of it, you're just increasing the blast radius once it shatters. So if you were to fill it up completely, so one charge is 5 feet, 10 feet, 15, 20, 25, 30. The largest you can get, and that's using up, if you wanted to, um, an entire holy arrow, if you use that, would give you a 30-foot kapoom. But that's also
But
using
every vial is 1 charge.
every vial is 6 because it's incremented in by increments of 10 minutes based on just how the holy oil works. So the holy oil you can apply and it burns. So it's a little bit of reading and a little bit of research, but the holy oil will last for an hour if you apply the entire thing. If you are to light it, you for the next minute, magical flames ignite, and it does bonuses, but it eats up an increment of 10 minutes. So that's why it's a system
Oh,
it.
so if I feel 1 arrow, it's a 30 meter radius, but then every 10 minutes it shortens as the charges decrease.
That's different because you're not lighting it. So they're two different items. So the holy oil itself, each vial has
Okay.
6 charges. So essentially, you'll have 42 charges of holy oil. The maximum you can put in one of your arrows is a full vial. So that'd be 6 charges. And then your arrows, the only thing that scales with the amount of oil you put into it is when it shatters how big of an oil splash it makes. So you're sacrificing holy oil potency for holy oil immediate effect and area coverage, essentially, if that makes sense. It might be good for you to read your arrow and to read the holy oil, but yeah, essentially,
Okay,
you can
and I
tell.
definitely want the coverage. So I'll grab 3 vials,
Okay.
and I guess I'll follow Al and to whatever quiet place he was able to find and start filling each of the holy arrows with 1 vial each. So I
Okay.
get the
Well,
math.
brim. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. So as you do this, the boat ride is relatively calm. It's not so much a are you going to spill the oil? Uh, Go ahead and roll me 3 separate dexterity. If you're proficient in sleight of hand, you can use your sleight of hand.
Really quick, if the oil is ignited on a melee weapon, the bonus is for the full minute, not just on the first strike, right?
For the full minute, if you attacked 100 times in that minute, you can get that benefit 100 times.
I need to learn how to strike faster. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Marb, no disaster happens. You manage it. It takes you, you're being cautious. The first one probably took you 10 minutes to fill up, right? You're just being, you don't want to spill the oil, spill the oil, spill the oil, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Because it was not necessarily the most brilliantly designed. It was just a means to deliver what you were asking for. But yeah, Rock, or CJ, since you got control of the bag of holding, go ahead and delete 3 full vials of holy oil. And then Marb, on your arrows, you can make it a note or change the name. You can say they're fully loaded or 30-foot radius or whatever. So you have 3 fully loaded Grung's holy arrows available to you.
It's a big ass radius.
Yeah, it's a lot of oil.
Good thing none of us are secretly undead evil creatures.
Ah, shit.
Or are ya?
Hmm.
I'm not undead. Not yet.
Awesome.
I'm not a lich yet.
Yeah, so
They say fully loaded.
yeah, so essentially, we'll have to remember this and take notes on it. But basically, if you fire with those, they're considered +1 magic, so +1 to hit, +1 to damage. That one piece of ammunition, and then once it hits, it has to do the whole. It does the damage, it does the blast radius, and we'll figure and remember to track that whenever it becomes applicable. Alrighty.
Yeah, I think that's good enough for me. I'll spend whatever morning just filling this out, getting them ready, kind of
Mhm.
like balance them out, like filling them out for weight and whatever.
And
And
as you're
have
getting
them
used
ready.
to them, you do realize that these are very clunky. These are not the best, and you realize that a long shot with these is next to impossible. This is for in all respects closer range, but
Mhm.
you have confidence in your marksmanship. Alrighty. I guess Rock, since you're steering the boat, Calisor will be essentially taking it easy. He has
Does he have anybody on the ship he can play Dragon Chess with? Anyone who's big?
yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, let's say yeah, he'll go around and he'll come up to as few of you know to Zella and ask him, and Zella says, maybe later. I know that Billy and Rex are not too busy. See what they can do, and uh, he'll go over to. Well, I don't know, Rock. Where is he going? Is he going to the human or to the bugbear?
He goes Bugbear.
All right. He'll go over to the bugbear and he'll kind of awkwardly, just more not in the being sheepish and shy, but just more like, "Hey Rex," as if he kind of knows him. He's like, "Rex, Zella said that you would play some dragon chess. You down for some dragon chess? Dragon chess?" And you can go ahead and roll me a persuasion check for him, Rock.
I should not be allowed around dice today, but okay.
D20 -1.
-1 for persuasion. Okay, I rolled 14, so 13.
13. Let's just see. It's just ballparking it. Huh. Rex will kind of give a grin, and you'll see the one broken tooth with the metal cap on it. Like, someone that plays dragon chess. He just kind of cracks his knuckles. It's like, I'll tell you what. You help me bring up the netting on the side, clean it off. It's captain's orders. You got yourself some dragon chess. And they'll go. Calzor will assist him for the next hour or so, and then eventually he'll be playing some dragon chess with him.
Any money on the line? He was hoping to win some money.
We'll figure that out.
Okay.
We'll fast forward. We'll fast forward to it real quick. Let's see. How much
Make
is?
Jesse lose all of his money.
Yeah.
He has confidence he's gonna win. He played me and beat me.
I mean,
He
he's
bets
very good.
all of his leaves.
He's very good at this. Okay. Well, yeah. So, how much money do you think he would want to put down?
I'm pulling up his character sheet right now too.
All of it.
Yeah, see, I don't even know what he has on him. To be honest.
15 platinum, 5 gold, and 100 copper.
Yeah, so, yeah, all of it. No, not all of it.
And then Al will go.
The sailor man's not gonna have that much to bet anyways. That'd be fucked up. Just
I
take
think
his
he'd go
money.
up to 5 gold.
I'm putting in 2 buttons and a wad of string.
So Cal will awkwardly be like, "How's 5 gold?" And then he'll look at you and be like, "How about 1 for now?"
That works.
All right. And he pulls out 10 pieces of silver and puts it down. All right. So, yeah. So Cal rolls with a +8. So d20 +8 because he uses his wisdom. So yeah, so we'll roll. So go ahead and give me a d20 +8, and then I'll go ahead and roll actual dice for this because I
17 plus 8, 25.
25. All right. So if I recall right, Calisaur, when he played you, played with like a spread it out kind of formation because essentially the rules in Dragon Chess are there's the same pieces, but the way that you form them up on your quadrant of the board, and there's 4 quadrants essentially that are divided on the diagonal with certain space rulings and all that. He was very much a spread out kind of like, as if wolves are stalking their prey and tiring them out and harrying them. Where Rock, when you played, you very much centered down, focused in on the center, and basically held your ground. As Calisaur is playing, it's interesting because Rex is playing similarly to Calisaur, but instead of like spreading out, he's got more of a hammer and anvil style setup going, where one side is, well, designed to be flak and to slow you down. But Cal definitely gets that recognition in the first move, so the next round he can roll at advantage. So go ahead and roll. You need to beat a 25.
Oh,
Wow.
What'd you roll? 19 total? Okay.
So, so 11 plus 8, so 19 total.
Yeah. He rolled well. So yeah, as you're going to move and play, Calisaur starts, maybe getting a little bit more aggressive on the one side, but he kind of fell into this little trap of it still being flat, like chaff. It's a tick of the hit. And then as a few turns go, the strength of Rex's pieces start moving in a sweeping fashion. So he gets to roll at advantage where you rolled flat. 17. Oh, he's rolling hot. 24 total.
Oh, no. 12 total.
12 total. Yeah, so Cal's starting to like maybe get a little frustrated and like, being surprised that something that works so well for him that he learned is kind of backfiring, and Rex is just like rubbing his nose and moving a couple pieces and yeah, yeah, just yeah, just very what seems unintelligent in a way, just hammering through. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay. 8 plus
8 plus 8, 16.
for perception, is it? Yeah, 16.
Okay. Cal's like trying to just take in the board and understand what's going on. He's like, his eyes are starting to dart and around and trying to find some sort of solution. Go ahead and roll me a straight roll. Wow, this guy rolled hot tonight.
I should not be rolling people's dice. 3.
Oh, he rolled a natural 17, so yeah.
We made 20.
Yeah. So yeah, with that, as it's like kind of going, some of you will hear just this like not this like Cal's not gonna flip the table, but you just hear him kind of slam his fist on the board and be like, "Damn!" As Rex just kind of wipes him off the table with his hammer anvil style. He kind of, dang it. Another one. All right.
Oh, yes, 100%.
Okay, so you guys will go back and forth playing a few times. Roll me one more d20 just to see just the general state of it.
Cal, when you listen to this, I'm pulling out my luckiest, prettiest dice for you on this one.
Mhm.
Ooh,
2.
Oh,
dice
yes.
flat.
Yes, 18.
Oh, nice.
18 total, or
You just said, well, what was I rolling?
no? That's fine. That's fine. You're good. I got his bonuses. So yeah, over the course of this or afternoon or so, the guys, these two, as far as like taking breaks to be able to do the job that Rex is here to do. Rock, you pick this up. Calisaur and Rex get every time anything's done, they sit back down and they keep playing. I will say that over the course of the first day, Cal will lose 2 gold total.
Okay, I'll let him know that.
Yeah, I'll just reduce it from his page because I can.
Okay, yeah, cool.
There you go. All right. Jumping to Al, as you've kind of found a quiet portion up at the front of the ship. The There's just the ever so subtle sound of the water breaking, as the boat travels. You said you were going to read the book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So go ahead and I should ask. No, it's going to be investigation. Go ahead and give me an investigation check. It's in common. It's nice enough that certain sections have already been kind of marked for you with little bookmarkers. Do you want to? Nice. Do you want to start from the front and read through, or are you just focusing on the parts that have been marked for you?
Hmm. I was planning on like an overview thing where I
Mhm.
just kind of flip through the book. I guess I would
Okay.
be looking for the highlights. Yeah, I'll focus on the highlights.
All right. Go ahead and roll me one more because you guys are still benefiting from food for thought.
Oh,
Okay, 19. It's still good.
cool.
All right. It doesn't take you too long, thanks to the highlighted portions, where you start to. It's interesting because it pulls up on this Math Shaw family. It was well, you read about a now long perceived dead royal family, whose bloodline apparently, according to the tree, dried up about 450, 500 years ago. So smack dab in this, in like the second third or so of the Black War that was raging primarily across Rune, but also bled into other parts of the world. If you wish, you can go ahead and give me your choice of religion or history check. They will find you different information based on the math shaws.
Sorry. What are history?
Religion or history. Either one would be at advantage because they're intelligence checks.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe you're still fresh on your lucky should you wish to use one later. Just reminding you.
14. I think I'm well rested, so I'll use lucky.
Okay.
Shit.
All right. That's fine. 14. 14. Let's see. 14 on the history. All right. Okay. So the Mathshaws were a family that had roots here in this area, and this was before Greenhill was established. You learn that this was just known as the the expansive marshes and rolling hills. It really didn't have like an elegant name. They had a seemingly 100, 200 year standing, if not longer, at the time, before their family had dried up. You didn't really pick up from where they come from or all that, but you do pick up that the father, at the time, or the latest, the last entry for the ruler, his name was Casper Mathshaw. And he did have children of his own with his wife and all that. But he also had another child, a daughter. Go ahead and roll me one more set of investigation checks, and then we'll just tally all this stuff up, and I'll get you all your findings at advantage because of the good old food. So 15 total? Okay, nice.
Mhm.
All right, so yeah. So digging through, and it's not obvious. You actually have to jump to a section that was not part of the book, or not part of the parts that were highlighted for you. And it's more like tales or rumors and stuff. But then there's a section that's tied into it where it's like essentially annotated and marked saying that this is true. Um, the tale is that Casper, his oldest daughter, was actually adopted, and her name was Elsa Weir. I'll write it for you here shortly. Um, and the story goes, while the details are vague, Casper fiercely loved his daughter, and his love and the adoption was due to a vow of a life debt from an unnamed widowed farmer who had saved his life at the cost of his own. Uh, there's no real details as if like is Elsa Ware young at this point or that, but just that her father was a widow and somehow saved Casper's life, and that is the vow that he made to raise her as his own. So as you're reading through and following the vein with your investigation checks, you do learn that Elsewhere did not have what was referred to as the boon of the shepherd. You kind of go back and forth a little bit, and you see that, well, the Mathshaw family, their bloodline was heavily tied with the Shepherd of Fates. They were acolytes, priests, you know, to a point of even like zealous in the attitude towards undeath and blight. By all means, not bad people, but very much followers of the purest teachings of the shepherd. And from what you've heard in some of your meetings and the war room and picking up along your tales, like the shepherd is essentially in many places referred to as the god of death. He's also the god of fate, the god of chance and stuff. Death is natural, death happens. Undeath is what the Mathshaws swore to vanquish in the name of the shepherd. Well, it was their bloodline that was blessed, and Elsewhere was, well, not of their blood. Though she did have other talents. At a relatively moderate age, she did have the ability to manipulate magics. And back then, due to the Black War going on and just the seeming abundance of magical resources for whatever means, she was gifted and talented, and people became aware of her, and she was essentially enlisted to fight. She had to leave her home and then join the Black War. Well, over the years, her relatively kind demeanor would, with her father, uh, probably got twisted and warped just with the visuals of war and death and all that. And there's a section where it's written in Black speech. You don't know it, but you know that Black speech usually tends to incite not pleasant things. Usually, like criminal, like bounties on people's heads are written in Black speech and stuff like that. By all means, you might be able to find someone that can help you translate it. But there's definitely a section on Elsewhere that's written in Black speech. And then, kind of perusing and skimming through, you do find another groupings of sections that years later she returned from the war and answered the call to accompany her family to liberate a long-standing forgotten temple to the shepherd that was located in Deeproot. Her family and their soldiers had no idea that when she joined for other reasons rather than vanquishing the undead and fulfilling her adopted family's duties. She led her family's loyal men, her family, and her father to their deaths. She manipulated the undead, bolstering them without her family's knowledge. And when her ploy was figured out, it was already too late. There's a final entry that says, Elseweir scorned the shepherd for not blessing her. For family is deeper than blood. Family is the bonds that we make, and I will render the fate from this god and establish an unholy, undead stronghold. Good checks.
Oh, okay, okay. There's a lot going on here. I like this.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, you rolled your checks. Good job.
If Marb is still nearby, working on his holy oil arrows, I'd probably divulge a bit with him, just on the crazy parts toward the end.
Hmm.
I think she's involved with the necromancers. She's raising undead. What is she? She killed her dad. What is this? Do you see this? I like point to like 2 sentences. Like, look at this. Let her father her a bad fate. Look at that shit.
That's interesting. Marb, as he's pointing to a section, you recognize some text that you don't see very commonly, and that immediately catches your eye. Go figure. You show that one guy that knows thieves can't. Black speech is a derivative of thieves can't. And Marb, you oh yeah, you notice some. You notice a page that immediately catches your eye when Al is kind of flipping through the pages.
Rangers, no thieves camp? Or his thing, never mind. It's I know why.
Then there's this other part where she joins the Black War, and then I don't know what the hell this says, but then if we go forward a few pages, it's a temple.
Okay, can I stop like all from flipping pages and roll?
Yeah, you
Or
can
is there
interrupt.
like another history check or something?
It would be a history check, yes. Or actually, well, it depends. Are you trying to read and discern it? Right?
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah.
Uh,
Go ahead and give me a history check.
oh yeah.
Ba-ba-ba.
No, you need to roll at advantage because you got it. So yeah, so essentially what you managed to pick up in the section that Al just kind of skipped while he was telling you, like, this is crazy, she did this and this, she betrayed her family. You learn that during the course of the war, uh, some at this point in time, it would have been 450, 500 years ago, that Elseweir, while capable in all forms of the arcane and all that, she had a particular knack for the necromantic energies or undead, and she became known as actually someone really relatively cruel when she was sent out to, well, to bolster the armies to battle and all that. Um, Keep in mind that during the Black War and all that, it was essentially just like wizard, sorcery, magic mayhem. Like it was constant escalation, trying to get the next more powerful effect, trying to get the next more powerful spell. You know, many mage towers were constructed. Arcane research went through the roof. There's a reason why after the war there was some people for centuries flogged and stoned and killed anyone that showed any particular practice in magic. There's just that fear. But yeah, so you're reading through it, and it's just a warning. Essentially, it is a warning. It's a piece of parchment that was basically like kind of like sewed in to the piece of parchment. It was just literally possibly a warning banner that someone wrote, beware the dark casters, beware the one known as Elseweir, for she will kill you and make you fight against your own kin. Just a sheer stark warning.
Can I gently detach the parchment from like the book, or like try to separate it to see if there's anything under? Or it's
Okay,
just like
yeah. Go ahead and give me a yeah, go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check.
okay. I grab the
Whoa.
book and tell Al, like, look at this. This page is not part of the book, and I like grab a knife and like start like cutting
Whoa, don't damage it. Okay, I trust you.
bananas.
The 11?
Yeah.
Okay. It's not too difficult. Unfortunately, when you do remove the page, you do kind of rip some of the other pages associated, but you do manage to detach and it kind of flaps, and you don't rip that one page that you're kind of like looking for. It's like someone added a wanted poster inside there, right? So it's different paper and all that, but they kind of stamped it and kind of stitched it in. So you very carefully get it off. Go figure. My Kenku thinks of the thing that I didn't think he would think about. Uh, it speaks in Black speech, the curse of the husk. And as you're reading through it, it warns that anyone that will fall by Elseweir or by someone that she's risen aggressively, viciously, rampantly shifts, withers, their hands expand, they become sallow, and they are just mindless blades of undeath. It's rapid. There's not a cure to it. It's you die within a matter of moments. You rise, and you are just a slaughter machine. You rolled a natural 20, 22 total.
Well, I don't know if birds can sweat, but I started like shaking a little bit. It's like, Al, look at this, and I kind of showed him how he was showing to me. Explained it to him. It seems to be like whatever this warning was warning about. Way back when. It's pretty similar to what be happening now, and this right here says that if any one of us falls from one of their undead armies, is basically like GG, and you're just gonna respawn as an undead too. So I mean, just speculating here, but what if that like big conflict that was going on back in town with like was it the giants that were attacking? Like,
Yeah,
there's gonna be a bajillion of dead on both sides from both of those. So everyone's just gonna be basically a new soldier in the necromancer's army. So this is bad, and if this is powerful magic from the Black War, from the past, this is some powerful like evil spooky magic shit. Uh, so um,
well, that's the scary thing out of this book, bar none. Oh crap! Do you think that still exists? I hope that. Oh man.
You two,
hacks
go
are
ahead,
pretty.
real quick. Go ahead and give me. You know what? You guys were your choice: history or survival. If you do history, it's advantage because of fancy feast.
Fancy
Of
feast.
recent, sorry, not fancy feast. Food for thought.
It wasn't even Heroes Feast either.
Yeah. Well, one of the things is called fancy feast on the ladle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
said that was cat food, yeah.
Yeah. Meow, meow.
Oh
Meow
my
mix, meow mix, please
god.
deliver.
Oh, that's what.
Super
Damn it,
two.
damn it, damn it.
Oh wow, natural 20 and 17. Okay, nice. So 17 total, 22 total. The description of them becoming like sallow, skinny, their hair graying and withering, their their hands becoming like large blades and all that. You've run into these things in the swamp already. They are the humanoid zombies that attacked you in front of the hag's hut, and then proceeded to chase y'all throughout the hills and everything.
Uh,
I will.
crunch, crunch, crunch.
Yeah,
I look at
Mhm.
Al as we both connect the dots at the same time.
My jaw hit the floor.
Shit.
Clunk.
So, as a fun note, DM to players, this could have happened to y'all if any of y'all or Mara
What?
or any of that fell.
Oh hell no.
You
Now I
just
kind of want to die and become an undead evil Marv.
Okay,
I'll
blood
haunt
pact.
all of you.
If you're on, I'm in too. You wanna do this?
Sweet. Suicide
Let's
pact.
go.
High five. Boom. Hey, you know,
Um,
if we're all gonna die, might as well be generals in the army.
yeah. So I will say, just because y'all rolled a natural 20, and you guys, I will say you guys kind of go back, and there's a particular section on these creatures known as husks, and it's literally it's again black speech, so not the best translation, but translated to common, it's called psychotic frenzy of the husk. And unlike typical zombies, which are ponderous, lumbering stalkers, a husk zombie races quickly towards its prey, eager to tear flesh from bone. Each kill each kill it makes drives it into a fighting frenzy, during which it howls and moans in delight. It does not feed on that which it kills, but rather leaves the corpses to rot, and then it to rot and rise again and join in the carnage, in the merry, merry slaughter and carnage. So, yeah.
That's killed by a melee. Okay. Crap. A melee attack or something. Ah.
Why does it
I'm
always
telling
have
your
to
friends
be
about
spooky magic shit? Now you see why I'm so racist towards spooky magic shit?
No, it just keeps getting spookier. No, I definitely agree with the spooky magic shit. I don't want no more of that.
Okay. Should we? I mean, should we bring this up to the group? I feel like we're already on the way there, so I feel like we all need to be prepared for what we're about to encounter.
Yeah, we gotta be super careful with this. I don't know what would happen if we had to face that. Yeah, let's go warn him. That's a good idea.
I like
I'm
it.
guessing we're below
And I
deck.
just want to be like, face that again, because don't technically have faced it. Here, I'll link some D&D art for y'all for the husk zombie. Copy image address. So yeah, materia, because you guys rolled natural 20s.
Oh yeah, our
Hope y'all were
friends.
clear. You know,
Alice halfway there with the gray skin. Okay, okay.
grayish skin.
Yeah, don't get all racist on gray skinned people now.
Yeah.
Cough.
They're,
My bad, my bad.
hey, if they were made with spooky magic shit, get out of here.
Okay. Yeah, so that's everyone's individual thing. So now it'll be, late afternoon or so. If whatever you guys want to do, convene, let me know. Tree to role play.
Yeah, I'd be tired of cleaning and be like, yo, what's everybody else been doing? We need to eventually figure out once we get where we're going, how we get where we're going, because we don't. I mean, the place we're going is not on the river, I don't think, right? So we need to know how to get where we're going. And I think was it the bird
Can
knows
we
how to get
like
there?
assemble like all 7 of us?
Sure.
6 of us and Julian, and go over like what Al deciphered and like stuff like this, just so we're all on the same page.
Does Julian need to be here?
Uh, yes, I want to include Julian so he knows what's about to go down, and hopefully right back into or float back into town.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know if
might
it
be.
has to be transport specific, but like at least carry a word and possibly take it with Isos if he knows something about it, or even take it to the guild. Just as much as information, because we want to keep the paper birds for like emergencies while we don't have him, but he can carry a message back for us. And I think this is pretty big spooky shit coming down.
He did already say he's going somewhere else after he drops us off, and then going back, I think.
Yeah, if you're taking these, yeah.
Yeah, but he'll be back a lot sooner than we would,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully before the blade hands, yeah. The husks.
I mean, yeah, hopefully before we all die. But
But if not, then it's probably too late
You mean
anyway.
before you get your promotion to general?
yep, exactly.
That's right.
Okay, so you guys gather. Julian will wave down. Wow, I think forgot the human's name. Oh my God, Billy.
Billy.
There we go, Billy. He'll wave down Billy, and the little skinny punk runs up there and takes the wheel. Says, "I got you, Captain." And then,
I'm gonna do a
he'll
sarcastic laugh at him, like, ha ha ha. Just because. Just to be a dick.
and he'll just stick his tongue out at you and like do a little eyeball.
Yeah, eye roll.
Yeah. But yeah, Julian says, "Yeah, to my quarters. Let's talk. What do you want? What do we need to know?"
Did I see the little interaction between Davis and Billy?
Oh, I
Yeah,
wasn't being very subtle.
yeah,
Well, I'm there, right?
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna, as I walk away from the wheel, which I assume he's taking over for me.
Hmm.
I'm gonna summon a mage hand and flick Billy in the back of the head and just have it disappear again.
Fucking
I'll
Billy.
allow it. Yeah, just like a thunk.
Yeah, and
There's no one near him, and except for Julian. He just kind of looks around. He's like,
What was I?
and then I'll give Davis a little like wink.
Little fist
like,
bump. Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, fist bump. There we go.
"Alright." But yes, the entire menagerie follows Julian back into his chambers. Uh, Rex and Zella continue to work around the ship while Billy navigates. And as you guys enter, there is another individual in there that you have not seen. A
We have a
halfling.
stowaway.
Julia doesn't seem surprised at all. There's a halfling female, uh, dressed very much in dark clothing, leathers, stuff like that. Her hair is kept in little two buns, but otherwise kept tight. Uh, just giving her a once over, very much so, is not hiding the fact that she is armed from head to toe with daggers and blades and stuff like that.
So she's like Navari.
Not not quite Navari, because of the black hair. Navari had white and all that. And she's just
Oh, that's true.
she's just there, and she's not sitting in Julian's chair, but she's just kind of sitting in one of like the little tables where he has where he can have meals, and she's just sitting there with one of her daggers, just picking at her nails. Oi, yeah, what? I couldn't sleep. Oh, a whole lot of you. Okay.
Yep, we're the menagerie.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Uh, Dazzle, nice to meet you.
Nice to
It's
meet
kind of
you.
ironic with the name, all black clad and all that. Yeah. Julian, do I need to leave, or can I just? I'm cleaning my nails. And Julian kind of looks at you guys. She's
Yeah, we didn't
she's
expect to have her in here. She's doing what now?
she's protection.
For who?
Wait, for you?
Yeah, for
Oh,
everybody. She's
okay. But
I
no,
give her like
you don't.
an
She
up
didn't need
and
to be.
down and be like protection.
Giving it the side eye. This thing?
Can I take a knife out and just like throw it in her direction, not at her, just like behind her, and see how she reacts?
Sure.
I'll
Go
roll
ahead.
whatever I need to roll.
Just
Just
give
an
me
attack
a.
roll.
No, because
Well,
you're
I'm
doing.
not attacking her, yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a dexterity check. You're proficient
Uh,
at it, so.
yes, my dexterity is pretty good. Okay, 17.
All right. 19. Okay. So yeah, you throw it, and she doesn't even budge. And you throw it like a good. I don't know how much birth are you giving it? Like 2 feet, 3 feet, a foot? How far away are you kind of throwing it from her?
I mean, with a 17,
Yeah.
I would say like
That's a
maybe
lot of
half a foot.
half a foot. Yeah. Are you throwing it like at the table, so it like sticks in the table, or just like into the side of the ship? I'm allowing
Yeah,
you.
into the side of the ship, so it flies like past behind her.
So you throw it, and it like barely, grazes over her one of her buns that she's got, and then she kind of looks up, and with the knife that she's picking, she throws it, and she throws it, and it lands right in between your toes on the ground. It's like, yeah,
Cool. I pick it up and put it back on my knife belt. It's like, nice to meet you, Dazzle.
yeah,
Can we have the cabin, please?
yeah. She reaches back and takes your knife. It's like, fair trade, Captain. You need something? Let me
Wait,
know.
how did you take it back if I put it back on my...
No, she threw her own dagger at you.
Oh,
So like when you threw it, she let it stick, and she didn't like flinch. She just kind of, and then she takes the dagger that she's picking her nails in and just throws it, and it lands in between your toes. She rolled higher than you, so she got a better throw.
nice.
And she's like, fair trade. And then she kind of takes it, and like she's walking out. She's like, Gavin, let me know if I need to stab anybody. Keeps cleaning her nails as she's walking out.
Seems like somebody you'd like, Marb.
Yep. She mentioned stabbing.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll have a knife fight later. We'll put some money on it. We'll be fine.
Julian will butt in, like, you don't. Dazzle fights dirty. You don't want to.
That'd be a real shame if somebody fought dirty, wouldn't it, Marb?
I know. And like my eyes start like shining as I'm like super happy, like smiling really creepily, like a worthy challenger approaches.
She's like, Julian's like, yeah, she watches the boat while everyone sleeps. Surprised none of you. Well, I guess I'm not surprised that none of you
She
noticed.
wasn't here the last time we were on the boat, was she?
Mm.
When it was you, me, and you, us, and Amara?
Oh yeah,
Shit, she's good.
I'll tell you.
Box. We didn't realize it was her.
I mean, we were pretty tired, but like we were on a boat for 2 days and never saw her once.
Pile of potatoes.
Keep in
She
mind,
was
you'll
dragging her
never.
the whole time.
Is she interested in joining?
I mean, no. She works for. No.
Alright. You need her, that's fine.
I mean, sometimes the nature of the business takes us to some
Oh, believe me, I know. I got
horrible
you.
locations. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you this. You saw her, right? Not a single scar on her face. She's good. She knows what she's doing. So, yeah. So now you know the whole crew that's on the boat. There's Billy, Zella, Rex, Dazzle, and Julian,
The cargo man.
the cargo man.
The cargo crew.
It's like, well, yeah. Well, welcome to introductions. What did you want to talk to me about? Al, Marb. Well, I guess all of us.
Yeah, and I tell like Al, like take the room, like you decipher this, but it's pretty serious business. And I put the parchment in the middle of what I assume there's a table in the middle of us. It's like this was in Tuxin Al's book, and for us that went to Deeproot last time, it's gonna sound pretty familiar.
And he's like, well, I can read I get it. Can you sum it up? That's quite a bit to read.
Here.
Zombies
Mm-hmm.
or husk people. They touch you, you rot, die, or I mean, not touch you, but they injure you. You rot pretty quickly, die, and become one of them.
That's
Remember those thingy majiggies that we were running from last time?
Julian will say no, but I'm sure everyone else will.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Let me. I'm just kidding. So, yeah, spooky stuff is happening. Julian, the reason why I wanted you here was that um, if my hunch is correct, we think all of the problems in town with the giants and everything is being orchestrated by this evil Simon Necromancer guy that we've been trying to hunt for a while now. And all this killing is only gonna boost up his army real quick. And I'm assuming Julian knows about the war. This is like all very old spooky magic from the war, and it's coming back. A lot of similarities to what happened today.
Oh shit! You're talking about
So,
Black War? Damn.
mhm.
Some things really do run deep.
So
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
whenever you circle back to town, run it up the. I don't know if it's called the Thieves Guild. What was the name of their organization?
Did we ever find
Their
that?
organization?
Yeah,
His is, you know of the organization, the Silhouette.
that Isis and Julian were part of.
Um,
Was their like group name?
they didn't give you like the group that they're part of, but they're members of the overarching group known as the Silhouette, which you're the only one that has any familiarity with that.
Sweet. Then yeah, please run it up to the Silhouettes like information line. Gather as many rumors, hush hush, coming from every town in the surrounding areas. Because this is like a pot that's boiling, that's about to burst at any second, and then we're gonna be facing a ginormous army of undead husk, giant humans, all random species that's been dying around town. If you
Uh,
can get someone in the guild, I guess I look at Grant. Uh, is there a way to purify dead bodies so that they don't resurrect? Like, is that like a thing?
Um, Probably. I mean, we all have our. I don't know. We'd have to. Mort might be the expert on this kind of stuff. The shepherds would know better about these kinds of magics and law
you,
barons.
Grant, you can go ahead if you want. You can give me a religion check to see if anything.
Rack my brain.
Yeah. Davis and Al, you can give me history checks at the mention of Silhouette, if you wish.
I want to guidance myself for
That's
this
fine.
kind of
Are we
important.
still advantage times? Because I know it was like a 12-hour thing or something.
I'll still let it, like, this will be after this, no more advantages. So if it's history,
Oh, I'm a bad priest.
no, you get advantage.
Oh wait, no, that was Al's roll. Okay, fine. Actually, I am kind of a bad.
Also 14.
I was a 14. Okay. 14, 14. And Grant, I know you're using wisdom for your thing, but because it's still a base history check, I will allow you to roll with the food for thought. So you can roll it at advantage.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. I'm not going to punish you for using an item that's meant to augment.
The D4 stay or reroll?
No, that's fine. He can keep the D4. It's I have separate rolls. D4s will be separate. So 16.
18 total.
18 total. Okay, yeah. 18 and then 14, 14. Okay, so history. Al and Davis, y'all have heard of the Silhouette, and you just know them as basically thieves guild, trade guild, usually associated with like the underbelly. You don't know too much other with them. The
We don't know about
reasons
their
y'all
reach or
know about
anything.
them. Hmm?
Like we don't know about their reach or like
You
size.
know it's large. You know, Davis, you know you've heard of it not only on Rune, you've heard of it on other
Oh,
continents.
okay.
you're sailing. And Al, you just heard of it just based off, your tutelage and training and teachings and being prepared.
Mhm.
But as far as like, you don't know the details. Like, you don't know who runs it. Of course, who really knows who runs it? But like, you just know of it.
But I feel like Mark probably knows a thing or two.
Chun, chun,
He seems like the kind
chun.
of person.
I mean,
He
yeah,
brought it up.
he brought it up. So
Yeah,
yeah.
All right, then. Okay, yeah.
I'll explain later.
Mhm.
But Julian, like, I know you're a businessman. Like, did not. I'm not asking you to go back immediately. Um, but please
It's
make haste as soon
important.
as you can
Yeah,
back.
it's important.
Oh yeah, stop by the Adventurers Guild and give them this information as well, and see if we can uh, find purification magic, blessing magic of some sort, and start cutting this. And the menagerie will do the best we can here in the swamp, but in case we fail and die horribly and come back as awesome zombies, evil zombies, at least someone is carrying that message back, and they can make more preparations back in town. Save as many people. I don't even know if they can be saved or evacuate the town, but yeah, I'm trusting that mission to you. And I plucked like 3 of my feathers,
Oh, geez.
put them on the table. It's like, uh, pretty sure I've given you a feather before, but this is of high importance. I'm betting 3 of my undevoted favors, whatever you ask, but please do the simple request for me.
Hmm.
Pretty please, and I like bat my eyelashes at him.
He kind of chuckles at the ending of your plea, and he's like, "Marm, of course. It may not seem like it, but Green Hill is my home. I've been here for a while. Uh, the I when you were mentioning the undead over giant thing, I don't know. That's weird with me. Uh, Undead don't really come out of deep root from what we know. I mean, and honestly, I kind of have a little bit of faith. Y'all were already in there, and apparently could have run into these things, and you and Amara made it out. Maybe they're not as terrifying as you think, or maybe you're just more capable. But again,
I hope that's the case, but I don't want to risk it. And if
um,
this necromancer ever reaches town, there's gonna be corpses pretty much everywhere. I mean, we
mm,
almost were trying to hunt him down in Volpine before. I think we missed it, or like it happened like very recently after we arrived in Volpine. So
the Simon individual you've brought up before.
yeah, his trail is definitely very fresh, and we've been trying to follow it. So
You think
as
he's
many ends as we can tie up as fast as possible,
mm,
the less capable we need to be in order to prevent like stuff like this.
Gotcha. Grant, go into your history check real quick of an 18. Um, you would have to kind of study the curse up closer, the effect, the transformation. Uh, the description of it makes it sound like it's if there is a solution, it needs to be done immediately. Based off, since your guys rolled natural 20s, I literally copied and pasted you the effect. It is on the start of their next turn, they rise of the husk. There's definitely some warding magic that you might be able to do. You might be able to come up with some sort of manipulations. You are aware of spells such as like protection from evil and good, protection of like remove curse.
We burn the body immediately. Does that prevent transformation?
It might not prevent it, but it'll severely limit the zombie as it's transforming, and maybe that excess of energy might actually just destroy it before it can stand. You don't know. Like you know that there's tales of like holy water being applied and into like removing um, maledictions and
Mhm.
afflictions. You know that um, kind of because you rolled decently well. You know of some spells that might be able to be harnessed and manipulated to prevent it from happening. And to DM to you, it's like protection from good of evil, maybe. Like, if you are creative with it, maybe that can prevent it. That are revivify, obviously, like if they drop and you instantly revivify them, sure. They drop and you heal them up, sure. But I mean, it has to be like before, it takes over to their turn. If you
Right.
if you manage to get a gentle repose on them somehow, that will just straight up no like pause it out. You do know by the nature of it that it is by the text, it's a curse. So like detoxifying, poisons, disease, that no, it's a magical.
Magical curse.
Yes. Of course, the power of faith and God can always be applied, but you're not. There has to be ways, but
Yeah.
the tailing of how they the fact that there's a parchment of a wanted-esque poster that's telling you that this person is known to create these creatures and they just run savage, and that would happen during a time when there was just an abundance of magic, you know that it's some serious shit.
Okay.
No. You know that there's means of enlightenment and means of getting information. So, I mean, that role by all means is not meant to discourage you. There are ways. It's just there's not a. It's it's doing it's doing it live basically. Right. Best
So
way.
Grandpa does pass that on. He's like, I don't know. I've heard of magics like these undead magics like this, but I don't know without actually examining, a husk as it's transforming. And I'm not really a scholar. It's not never been my expertise. The shepherds like Mort, they know more about this. I think they usually the trainee shepherds they learn a ritual or some kind of cantrip that can preserve corpses. That kind of magic might be able to stop this transformation, but they have to be there right when it happens. This is really powerful stuff. I have to look into it more, I guess.
Yeah.
How many shepherds are there?
You don't know. So your only exposure to one of the followers was Mort, the Gith individual that brought in the injured and wounded to the Adventurers League from the Eastern Front. That with the red spiky hair, the pointed ears, the nose kind of pushed up, the greenish yellow leathery
Um,
skin with liver spots, and the
are they
dark.
like a well-known like religion or group of like healer
Yeah.
people?
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
So
can safely assume they have multiple numbers, not just like a
yeah.
select sect in like a mountain or something.
So I posted it. It's pinned somewhere, I think. I don't know if it's materia. Maybe I didn't pin it. Marb, and to everybody, the Shepherd of Fate is one of the 11 members of the Pantheon. One of the highest orders, like the prime deities of this reality. Um, I will. Here, I'll do this. Hopefully, it'll copy over well. I don't think it will. There you go. So I posted in here. So he is the lawful neutral. So I don't mind. I hope you guys don't mind me going over this again. But essentially, the faith system in materia revolves around the 11-pointed star. It is built on the essentially the alignments. There's lawful, neutral, chaotic, and then good, neutral, and evil. And each point represents one of the twin affiliated deities, where the central points, the three, they're the pure neutral deities, and they basically are known as just like the tribunal as well. And they are a little bit different than the other gods. Um, how they interact and all that, it doesn't matter. But they are, and there's no like set manifestation or anything like, oh, this is a female, this is a male. They are based on the culture, based on representation, what they are perceived as, and that. But they are very much associated. The months of the year are named after them. So there's 11 months in the year. There's 11 deities. There's a lot of 11 in this world. So like you're in the month of Windscar. That's after the Wilden, or Wildscar. Sorry, Wildscar. So you're in the Wildens month right now. So yeah, shepherds are big.
Sweet. Then we're gonna need all the help possible.
I mean, we'll see. But yeah, Julian will. The one thing that he wanted to interject was your fear of like the zombies like being coming from the east. He's just. I mean, undead is rare, and from what Amara told me, y'all found out that they don't seem to leave Deep Root. So again, maybe we'll be fortunate and they happen to be two separate things, not tied together. I don't know. Okay. Anything from anyone else? Oh, did I lose audio? Just test?
No, you're good.
Oh, yeah,
Here.
I can hear you.
Everybody just saying, now we good.
Okay. So, aside from that, unless if you guys want to do anything in particular, the next few days are just going to be y'all on the boat.
I
Preparing.
want to consistently look for Dazzle, see if I find her.
That's fine.
We have that 40 pounds of man-eater plant to process.
All right. Oh, right.
40 pounds of what?
Oh,
Plant. That's kind of important. That's kind of our cloak from the zombies. So
uh, what are you? I will. Danny, roll me a set of like 5 perception checks. But okay, what are you doing with
For
the
me?
man eater?
Okay. Sure.
Whoa.
It's gonna be for the next few days of him trying to find Dazzle.
Okay.
But yeah, Rock. What about the man eater plant?
I want to process it in the way the instructions say, so that it's ready to go to hide us from zombies.
Okay. Are you entailing anyone's help or letting them know what you're doing? Or...
I would let everyone know, and if anyone wants to help, I would appreciate it, considering how much I have. But I wouldn't force anyone to.
Okay. Davis, you swear that first night you hear footsteps when you're going to bed, but other than that, no.
Sneaky little bugger.
Yeah. Grant, so I'll let Rock kind of tell you, but essentially at the Hag's Hut, one of the things that y'all collected was the man-eater plants, those plants that y'all were avoiding in the swamp that clamped on people. The hags had, or the false oracle, she had 40 pounds of it that was dried and preserved. And then at one point when Al and Cal and Hava were going through the notes, they ran into a section saying that the fumes, the smoke from them help ward them off from minor undeads.
Yeah, do you guys remember when I ran through town and was like, I got it, I know what we need to do.
Which time?
I think the most recent
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
yeah, it was because I found this recipe that we can get back in and not worry about the zombies because they won't see us. We just have to have the plants prepared.
You got
we
a
just
plan on
burn it.
that
Do
to
you
help.
anything to it? Can I just burn it?
I mean, the preparations, you guys, if I recall right, y'all rolled fairly well. The preparations is essentially getting it into like a, not necessarily like a powdered form, but getting it into like chip form, like where it's like chipped and all that, and it's essentially you do light it ablaze, and put it in a sensor or in a lantern or whatever, and it functions as a pass without trace bonus against undead. So as long as you're like within the area where it's smoking, they have a very hard time finding you.
A strong breeze could kill all of us.
I mean,
Do we have ways of controlling strong breezes? Or preventing them?
I do not.
No, I don't.
Cal does, doesn't he?
Nope.
Cal might.
The
He
wind
definitely
wall
might
or
be
whatever?
Oh, yeah, but he can't like necessarily move it with you guys. I don't think he took like gust as his cantrip. But actually, speaking of that, if you're preparing it with some people's help, Grant, if you're assisting, you can go ahead and give me a religion check real quick.
Sure.
Not an
I'm,
advantage, just straight roll.
I'm on board to help. I feel like Marv found the most interesting thing out of the book.
Mhm.
But if I have spare time afterwards, I'd keep looking at the book.
Wah,
Nice.
wah.
Professional.
Yeah.
Jinx.
Yeah, you're determined to roll these up into doobies and hit that plant.
I've hacked Roll20 to make sure I can never roll well on religion checks.
I'm baffled. Can you roll me one more? I just want to see.
I think it's time for your character to just pass along.
When it doesn't matter, I roll
Okay,
better.
decent. Okay.
Time for
But
you
yeah,
to
no.
class into something else.
I mean, I have yet to roll a good
Or-
initiative roll in Roll20, so it
I
just
rolled 2 20s almost in a row.
Mhm. So I will do one thing is because this was I think if I remember one thing, as you guys are doing the night and day, tell me what it is. But I know Calusor will continue to play some chess, continue to try to be sociable. But one thing he does every night, he goes up and sleeps on his own. One thing else is at some point Julian will approach Calusor and he will want to talk to him about the 13. Um, he will address Calusor and say, Amara told me you were from the swamps and living with an actual toad oracle, and he bestowed upon your group 13 things. Well, we never really got to meet proper before, but I am somewhat of a superstitious man. And out of everything that I have been exposed to by this group, it's the 13 that I'm most concerned about. Uh, I just, I hope we can figure those out as well, should none of this become a massive calamity and disaster. Cal will work with him and kind of discuss things, and we'll role play that when Jesse gets back. Do a little quick flashback on the boat.
I had one quick question for Calusor at some point too.
Sure, go ahead.
I know names don't really mean much, and just because one name sounds like another doesn't mean anything, but like Mathras and Mathshaw sound kind of like the same. Like, is there anything there
Oh,
that you know of? Like,
not that I'm aware of. No. In fact, I never considered it. Oh, that's some obscure knowledge. 17 plus. No, even with that, no. It's like, honestly, I don't know. I I don't think so. But hell,
okay,
we've seen some crazy stuff. Maybe.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know people's names around here anyway. So
Well, I can say that Mathras never kept any worldly goods that would have hinted at any former life or connection to anything. He had his realm and he had his section of the swamp.
yeah, he just seems like really powerful. So I don't know what he can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Just for after the first night,
Mhm.
couple will spend each night with Calusor, kind of on watch, kind of just hanging out with Calusor.
Mhm. I got you. As the nights kind of progress, and it's you guys are gonna spend a good 3 nights on this vessel. Preparations, rest. Al, you will essentially get your color back. Like, the gray and all that will fade, and you will be back to your full, vibrant, reddish hues.
Ah, I'm beautiful again.
Yeah. Um, I guess, is there anything else that you guys want to do, prep, or think about for the next, we'll call it 2 days, 2 nights, as you travel to the drop-off point at Deep Root?
Have I had any strange dreams either of the nights?
Can I keep
Oh,
try to
actually,
roll?
Do we have
What the hell?
access to the map that we made last time, or is that
I
left
still
with
have it.
Jade?
I have it. I got it back
he's
from her.
got it. Davis, okay, this actually is a good point. How frequently do you think you would be interacting with Julian?
I mean, every day for sure, but
Yeah,
semi regularly because as kind of
similar.
as like a duty bound sort of guy, he'd probably be like, "Hey, Captain, is there anything we can do? Anything you need?"
Okay, I like it. Um, so yeah, actually, on the fly, yes, I will. I actually have an idea.
Okay.
So on the final night, when you guys are, to approach Deep Root, probably not early morning, but still in the morning, you're sleeping, and as is tradition, kind of on the boat, the captain kind of hosts y'all in his quarters, and a little bit of rum, a little bit of good time, some merriment. Al's playing some music. Rex and Zella are, strumming away, drumming away, kind of contributing, right? It's merry, for as bleak a task as you guys are going to. Something that had become aware to the entire group is that Billy, Rex, Zella, and Dazzle do not actually know why you guys are being dropped off.
And they don't seem to
Never
be
really,
asking.
no. They have their jobs. They know what they're doing. They know that you guys are cargo, and this is your job. They don't pry per se. They're as diverse of a group as it is, kind of like you guys. They are professionals at what they do. So short of someone actually spilling the beans and all that, and Julian very much makes sure not to blurt out what's going on. You realize that Dazzle could have been part of the conversation at some points, just because of how sneaky she is, and the initial time you introduced her, Julian didn't kick her out of his room. He was like, she left on her accord. Um, but yeah, there's a little bit of merriment, and with that there was some dancing and some hollering and all that, and Julian took off some of his more formal clothes, covering clothes, and it's like the first time where you saw him where that man who is like 50% of his weight is in his belly, and he's still jacked up in the arms, big chest, strong back, and he's got that intricate star tattoo that laces into the tendril, that wraps around his arms and it stops in his wrist and everything, and then the suckers are stars. And Davis, you never noticed, but there's little lines connecting the the stars,
Okay.
almost like a
Right.
constellation. And then when you go to sleep that night and you're dreaming of that same, you're reliving that merriment in that night, and having a good dream and a good dream. And then there's times where you focus in your dream, you focus in on that tattoo and you break it. It's kind of like subconsciously you break it. But then eventually you kind of realize that you develop like a lucid dream, and maybe the third or fourth time where you actually focus in on that tattoo, you're taken and like kind of your vision is kind of blue washed out, and then you're just looking up at the night sky, and it is that same mystery constellation that you saw one of those nights after you used Hearthguard. You're laying back on top of a mountain, essentially, staring at a beautiful sky, and there's that constellation. And you hear just those little rumors and rumblings. Go ahead and give me a nature check.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, nature check.
3.
3. Rumors and rumblings. Feels like the ground is moving a little bit. That's about it. And then you kind of, when you in the morning, you just kind of naturally wake up and you just take it as how you wish.
Fair enough.
Oh, and if you go to check your neck, there's not an additional marking.
I would have, and yeah, good.
You're still at your 5. So I guess because I would like to wrap it up. It's getting anything you guys wanted to do in the next 2 days of quick play, or
Yeah,
we could.
I have one
Mhm.
just for funsies.
Mhm.
So on my off time when I'm not allowed to steer the ship or I'm not working on those plants,
Mhm.
I'm gonna not follow Billy around, but anytime I'm in a room with him and it's not just us, so it's obvious, I'm gonna
Mhm.
do annoying things. Like have
Okay.
my hand like flick him from behind or use minor illusion and make like him hear whispers or stuff slightly that he's put down. So like he just kind of make him think that he's kind of losing it.
Mhm.
Weird shit's going on just to like because I saw Davis and him don't get along.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna torment poor Billy, but not in like a mean malicious,
Yeah.
but just in a have him really
Just gonna
confused.
bully him a little bit.
You're not gonna make Billy leave like Dregnar. I get it. It's fine.
Wow.
Oh,
Below.
I just want to like see him make him lose it a little. Just be like, what the heck is going on? It's both Hammond.
I get you. Yeah, no. Rock at one point, like on the last, not the last day, like the morning, but the last full day that you're on the ship, where you get to kind of go up there and steer a little bit. Erectus. At one point, you're kind of because you're on top of the captain's quarters, and you kind of just easygoing. You're getting kind of accustomed to steering the ship, so you're able to not like completely focus, right? You're able to kind of let go, and you swear you hear little rumblings below of like Billy and like Captain, I don't know what's going on. I think these guys brought some bad spirits with them or something. Are you sure none of them have been part of a shipwreck? I swear. I swear, things are bunking into me. I'm tripping. I tie knots and they get untied. I don't get it. These menagerie folk, they're bad cargo. Bad cargo. You can see he's like spooked.
I will pass that on to Davis. Be like, I got him for you, buddy.
Oh, wow. Nice. I just thought he was a bit of a suck up and I want to make fun of him. So.
No, I misread that one. I've been tormenting him, but yeah, I don't think he likes us that much now, or he's confused.
Well, he doesn't necessarily know it's from you. He's just like,
Yeah.
he's like, you are the odd ones here. So he's just, so yeah. But yeah, Rock, you're able to 40 pounds a day. I will say, you know what? Go ahead and give me a survival check. Let's
Is
see
there
how
anything I can do to help?
you can. Are you? Oh no, you're a bard. You're like proficient in everything. Yeah, you can. You can assist him. You can inspire him if you wish to. I mean, it's up to you.
Ooh, I'll do that. That's
Okay.
1d8.
Okay.
Well,
So you can roll at advantage and add a 1d8.
I don't know if I'll need advantage, but I'll take it. My first roll was really good. Oh my god, my second roll beat it.
Whoa.
Well, the first one was 18, second one was 19, and the
Okay.
D8 is a 6.
So 25 plus stuff.
Plus survival is plus 4.
29.
29. Okay. yeah, with Al's help, and it's kind of funny because like Al kind of gets into like a whistling kind of mode and everything while you're working, and you kind of show him like what you're doing and breaking. You guys manage to process all 40 pounds so that it is readily available to be put in a hooded lantern or in a sensor or whatever mechanism you'll have to burn it. Rock, you're smart enough that if you wish to, you could take like torches and like take some sap and everything, kind of roll the dried and essentially have like burning torches that'll act as means to distribute the smoke as well.
Do we have the materials to make torches on ship, or is that going to be like a traveling experience?
As you're
Ships have
traveling, you
torches.
kind of come up with this like potential solution to it because I mean, survival check. You saw Dregnar way back when use sap, and now you're like, oh, yes, I learned. I think it was when you were in the woods that were bordering the farms, the swine fields. Dregnar did something with sap, like as a glue. Mm. You learned.
Perfect. I am just changing the name in the bag to processed
Yeah.
melee.
Yeah, it is literally, it is no work has to be done. You just have to set it ablaze or prepare it however you want to use it. It's good to go. And if you want to put a note on it, however, it functions as a pass without a trace spell against undead. So, alrighty. Anything else, guys? Marb or Davis or Al or Grant or Pebble
no.
or Hans.
If I think of something, I'll message you online or something.
Perfect.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
good. Yeah.
All good.
Sweet. Well, honestly, guys, I can't thank you enough for your patience and your flexibility tonight. Yeah, hopefully Fridays will end up working out well. Uh, I hope you guys like the knowledge bombs that were dropped. I don't know outside if Al has told you which ones he's picked or if he knows the mechanics, if you guys are aware of the mechanics that has happened.
I mean, we've seen the mechanics of one pretty clearly.
Yeah,
Like randomly, but clearly.
yeah.
I haven't divulged, but I'm more than open.
Okay, so if you wish, go ahead. And then I will tell you, I think it was very ironic that he was talking to the entity about the power of a name based on his choices. And then we'll call it a night after this.
So first off, because of my race, I've been able to use disguise self since like level 3, but Al never had a situation to expose that without terrifying his friends. So he was looking for the right moment. It never came about until Rock learned, and boom! I'm like, oh, I guess I can just do it in front of people. I might get attacked by Calasar, but whatever. So disguise self has gone from a once a day. With the invocation, I've turned that into an at will. I can do that whenever the hell I want to. I can be anybody I want to. So be ready for lots of mocking and teasing.
Classic.
Wait, so the crystal,
The Chaos
not-
Shard.
that was you.
It's messing with me, and I'm learning that I'm doing this way more than once a day. Something's different.
Okay. So it was actually making that happen. You weren't just like, haha, brilliant.
No, he had no
Mhm.
control.
Okay, you didn't have control over that. Okay.
But I was realizing that it was effortless with the crystal, but I don't think the crystal was, expending any energy to do it. So it was like it's just happening.
Yeah.
It's just kind of triggering it.
So one thing that we're going to do for sure, and hopefully I remember, so Calasar will have the interactions with Julian on the 13. He will also, one thing he wanted to do was investigate the shard of glass that he kept. So those are two things that we'll do when he's with us next session.
I think he needs a rematch of chess too.
Yeah.
Ooh. So that one is known as the Mask of Many Faces invocation. The other one is the Beguiling Influence. So I already had way too much deception and persuasion. I believe this went from
Proficient to
help with
expertise.
terminology, proficient to
Yeah.
expertise. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I now have in persuasion and deception. I have +10,
God.
which is just dumb.
We can be an infiltration team together. Disguise ourselves. You do all the talking, and I'll just
Mm-hmm.
be there to moral support. So as soon as I talk, I'll ruin it.
Al's the new face man, the many face man.
One thing that he, as I will let you guys know, so the 121 day recharge was a false reading on the invocations. They are now essentially, for a lack of a better term, a part of him. By all means, there might be ways to remove them. The cost for this was that when the entity reached into his chest and started to draw his literal heartstrings to be able to weave them onto him, a warlock's hit die is a d8. He is not a warlock, so therefore each invocation cost him 8 of his hit points. So his maximum and current hit points were reduced by a total of 16.
Yowza.
So I lost 30%.
That's fine.
You know,
Yeah. So
Can't talk your way out of 0 HP there, buddy.
No, I can try though. I can look like you, and maybe that'll scare them. I don't know.
Yeah.
Then
So,
I'll
yeah.
look like them, and they'll be more confused. It's a great time.
Yeah, technically, I'm not taller, that much taller than you. You could look like me.
Yeah, everyone in this party is within the range of him being able to change his height and all
Nice.
that.
Does that include Dragnar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
'cause
might
how-
be a little bit too short.
Wait, he's like a straight up 4 feet, right? Like Ragnar?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're too
You-
tall.
You'd be like a 4'8" because you're 5'8", right, or 5'10"? I can't remember.
I can be a
He's
tall
close.
dwarf. I'm 5'8". Yeah,
Yeah, so you would be like a 4'8" version of Dreadnought.
I'll take it.
if a big baddie sneezes on you, you're gonna go down now.
I mean,
Yeah, the last fight, I was like, oh, that's a much bigger chunk than it used to be.
yeah.
That's level 4
I was like, do I
Al.
heal myself? Ah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
for sure.
so again, I think you get the irony in the fact that he said, "What's with the strength of a name." I know y'all were not privy to that and saying, but it's right, because now he can be a lot of people and he can lie and persuade himself to be other people. I just thought it was funny when he said
That's
that.
pretty fun.
I'll make a name for myself. The hills, the cities, they'll all cry. Davis.
Oh, God.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, gentlemen. Well, hey, again, hope you guys had fun. Good session. We'll pick up with you guys. I'll actually swing over the page real quick. We'll pick up with you guys in the familiar.
Hey, Dragnar's back.
Hey, yeah.
Play those tunes, Johnny.
Pum. There you go. Welcome to welcome to Deep Root. What can I say?